I had two separate conversations with people about money this weekend. Not clients, just conversations that I've had. And one person said, no matter how much money I make, I feel like it's not enough. They actually started out saying, I feel like every time I look at my bank account, it just feels like it's not enough. And even when I was making a lot of money, it still didn't feel like enough. And then another person that I was talking to was having a lot of anxiety about their debt and feeling like all they're doing is working to pay off debt and it's just weighing on them. So this is part one. I'm going to talk about the person that is making a lot of money and doesn't feel like it's ever enough. And what I said to them was, yes, you're having this feeling that it's not enough, and even when you were making more, but it stems from something so much deeper. I started asking questions about their childhood and like what they thought, what they dealt with money. And their response was, we didn't have any money. And I'm like, exactly. You think the feeling of not having enough, right? You felt that feeling when you were younger. And even though visibly there's money in your account or you're seeing money, but to you, you feel like that money is just leaving your hands. And there's something deeper that's below. When you get the money, your first feeling is you're spending it. There's no plan aligned with it, right? So when you come back, you're like, wait, what happened to all the money that I had? And so that feeling that you have, a lot of times it's the self-sabotage. And I've seen it show up in three different ways when I work with clients. Number one, you have the person who they are just like, I know what it's like to not have money, so I'm going to hoard all my money. I'm going to save every little dime that I have, and I'm not going to spend anything. And even though they have 5 figures sitting in their bank account, they feel like they're broke, that they don't have enough money, because it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you have not dealt with the trauma, the experience, your inner dialogue around money, those things will not go away. So you could be making $300,000 a year and still have that feeling of like, it's not enough. Your thinking around money hasn't shifted. Yes, your bank account has changed, but the thinking has not shifted, right? And then the second one is the person who, as soon as they get money, their thought is that they just need to get rid of it because it makes them uncomfortable to actually have the money. Even though they remember what it's like to not have money, it's just that feeling of like, oh, okay, I can spend it, right? And sometimes it's more that I can spend it because they're also trying to show like, I got money now. Look, see, I got money I can spend. Because maybe when you were younger, you had to wear hand-me-downs, and now you're like, I got money, I can get the nice things, I can buy the nice shoes, I can get the jewelry, I can get all the things that I wasn't able to get when I was younger. And now that I have that money, I can do that. But what that does is there's no, again, system around it. So you're spending all the money that you get with no plan, no point of building wealth. So you're always having to constantly work and hustle to make more money. And the third person I see is the one who is always working. You can't stop working because you feel like if you stop, it makes you feel scared. Like, okay, if I stop now, I'm not gonna have any money. I'm gonna be back in the same situation that I was before. And so you're constantly working, hustling, trying to get to a place where you'll feel like, it's enough, but you're never arriving. And these three different people, right? The one who's the hoarder, they're saving all their money. The one who's like, I got it, I can spend it now. And the one who's constantly working and hustling because they feel like they can't rest because if they do, they might lose it all. All of those things are derived from the scarcity thinking, right? Because you know what it's like to not have enough. Your emotions did not shift. Your inner dialogue around money did not shift when you started making more money. So now you're a high earner and you're still going through the same patterns and habits that you did and you had when you did not make enough money. And so you're going through right now thinking like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I get this right? And you have this shame about not being further along with the amount of money that you're making. And I want you to understand, no amount of money is going to fix that until you sit back and deal with that inner money dialogue and shift your thinking around it. If it sounds like you, subscribe and follow for part 2. I'm going to give you some practical tips on how you can deal with that so that you can shift forward and actually start getting to a place where your money is positioned to build you wealth and create more freedom.